Respected teachers, honorable guests, and my dear friends, today I stand before you to speak on a subject that has shaped human dialogue, influenced societies, and often sparked great change. Controversy? Controversy, by its very nature, arises when opinions collide, when ideas challenge tradition, and when voices refuse to remain silent. While many see it as conflict, I see it as an opportunity for growth, reflection, and understanding. Throughout history, every great reform, every scientific breakthrough, and every social revolution began as a controversy. Whether it was the fight against slavery, the demand for equal rights, or the debates on science versus faith, controversy forced humanity to question, to argue, and ultimately to evolve. But controversy is not always noble. Sometimes it is fueled by misinformation, ego, or hatred. Therefore, it is our responsibility to approach controversy with wisdom, respect, and an open mind. It is not about winning an argument, but about discovering the truth, even if it challenges our own beliefs. In conclusion, controversy should not be feared. It should be understood. For without controversy, there is no progress. Without disagreement, there is no dialogue. And without dialogue, there can be no real peace. Controversy, in its simplest form, can be defined as a situation where differing ideas, opinions, or beliefs come into conflict. It is not merely a disagreement, but rather a clash of perspectives that generates debate, discussion, and sometimes even division. Unlike casual arguments, controversy usually arises over matters that hold deep importance, issues of morality, politics, religion, science, culture, or personal values. At its core, controversy reflects the diversity of human thought. Since no two people think exactly alike, the possibility of conflict in ideas is natural. What makes a topic controversial is not only the difference in opinion, but also the intensity of emotions attached to it. For example, debates about climate change, freedom of speech, or cultural traditions become controversial because they impact people's beliefs, lifestyles, and future. Furthermore, controversy often thrives in public spaces, in the media, on social platforms, and within communities, where ideas are shared openly. In such settings, it has the power to unite some groups while dividing others. This dual nature of controversy makes it both powerful and at times dangerous. In short, controversy is not just about disagreement. It is about the struggle between competing truths, the collision of perspectives, and the questioning of accepted norms. It represents the tension between tradition and change, stability and progress, silence and expression. One of the most remarkable qualities of controversy is its ability to act as a driving force for transformation. While many view controversy as disruptive or divisive, history shows that it has often been the spark that ignites progress. When people challenge long-held beliefs, question authority, or resist outdated traditions, controversy emerges. And from that very clash of ideas, new possibilities are born. Every significant reform in society has walked through the fire of controversy. Take, for instance, the struggle for women's right to vote. At the time, it was a deeply controversial idea, opposed by many who believed that women should remain confined to traditional roles. Yet, it was through heated debates, protests, and relentless arguments that the movement eventually triumphed, paving the way for gender equality. Similarly, in the world of science, controversy has been the seed of discovery. When Galileo argued that the earth revolves around the sun, his claim was condemned and ridiculed. Yet, centuries later, that very controversy became the foundation of modern astronomy. Controversy, in this way, compels us to re-examine what we accept as truth and to push the boundaries of knowledge, even in politics. Many reforms, from the abolition of slavery to civil rights movements, were born in the midst of fierce controversy. The debates were not comfortable, nor were they peaceful, but they forced society to confront its flaws and evolve toward justice. Thus, controversy acts like a mirror and a catalyst. It reflects the divisions within society while at the same time accelerating the process of change. Without controversy, people may remain silent, and silence often means acceptance of injustice. But when voices rise and clash, they create an environment where new ideas are tested, challenged, and eventually embraced. History is filled with examples where controversy played a central role in shaping the world we live in today. Without controversy, many of the freedoms, rights, and advancements we now take for granted would never have been realized. The debates, disagreements, and conflicts of the past often laid the foundation for progress in the present. Consider the abolition of slavery. At one point in history, slavery was widely accepted as a social and economic system. Those who stood against it were labeled as rebels or dreamers, and their views created tremendous controversy. Heated debates raged across nations, families were divided, and entire communities clashed over the question of human freedom. Yet, it was precisely this controversy that gave strength to the abolitionist movement, leading to the eventual eradication of slavery in many parts of the world. Another powerful example is the civil rights movement in the United States. In the 1950s and 60s, when African Americans demanded equality and an end to segregation, it stirred one of the greatest controversies in American history. Protests, boycotts, and marches were met with fierce resistance. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. were criticized, arrested, and even threatened. But out of this storm of controversy came landmark changes in law and society, which paved the way for greater equality and justice. Science too has its share of controversies that transformed humanity. When Charles Darwin published his theory of evolution, it challenged long-standing religious and cultural beliefs. His ideas were condemned by many at the time, yet today, evolution is one of the cornerstones of biology. Similarly, Albert Einstein's theories on relativity initially confused and divided the scientific community, but they ultimately revolutionized our understanding of physics and the universe. Even in culture and literature, controversy has been a force for awakening. Authors who challenged traditional values, whether it was through novels, poetry, or plays, often faced backlash, yet their works sparked critical discussions that shifted social attitudes. These examples remind us that every great leap forward, whether in human rights, science, or culture, began as a controversial idea. The very debates that seemed uncomfortable and divisive at the time turned into milestones of progress for generations to come. While controversy often carries a negative reputation, it is important to recognize the many positive aspects it brings to individuals and societies. At its best, controversy acts as a spark for curiosity, dialogue, and growth. It forces people to step outside their comfort zones, to question what they believe, and to consider perspectives they may have never thought of before. One of the greatest positives of controversy is that it encourages critical thinking. When faced with opposing viewpoints, people are compelled to analyze arguments, weigh evidence, and reflect on their own assumptions. Instead of blindly accepting what is taught or told, Controversy challenges individuals to dig deeper and discover the reasoning behind their beliefs. In this way, it becomes a teacher, not through lectures, but through the power of questioning. Another benefit is that controversy often stimulates innovation and creativity. When one idea is challenged, it paves the way for new solutions. For example, when societies debated about renewable energy versus fossil fuels, the controversy inspired scientists, engineers, and governments to explore cleaner, more sustainable technologies. Without that clash of opinions, progress might have been much slower. Controversy also plays a crucial role in strengthening democracy and freedom of speech. In societies where discussions are open, people are free to voice their opinions even if they go against the majority. This clash of ideas ensures that decisions are not made blindly but are tested through debate. A healthy controversy keeps power in check and prevents any one group or ideology from dominating without question. On a personal level, controversy can also build resilience and tolerance. Engaging in difficult conversations teaches individuals how to handle disagreement respectfully, how to defend their beliefs with reason instead of anger, and how to listen even when they do not agree. These skills are essential for living in a diverse world where differences are inevitable. In education, too, controversy can be a valuable tool. Classrooms that encourage debate on controversial topics help students develop the ability to argue logically, respect different viewpoints, and think beyond black and white answers. This prepares them for real-world challenges where solutions are rarely simple. Thus, the positive aspect of controversy lies in its ability to sharpen minds, challenge systems, and open doors to new possibilities. Rather than silencing it, societies that embrace healthy controversy often grow stronger, wiser, and more united in the long run. As much as controversy can inspire growth and progress, it also has a darker side that cannot be ignored. When handled poorly, controversy has the potential to divide communities, spread misinformation, and create hostility rather than harmony. Instead of being a platform for understanding, it can sometimes become a breeding ground for conflict and resentment. One of the greatest negative aspects of controversy is its ability to polarize people. When a topic becomes controversial, individuals often take extreme positions, clinging tightly to their side while refusing to listen to the other. This creates an us versus them mentality where the goal shifts from understanding to defeating the opposition. Such polarization weakens unity and prevents societies from finding common ground. Another harmful outcome of controversy is the spread of misinformation. In the age of social media, debates often move beyond respectful dialogue and turn into battles of half-truths, rumors, and manipulated facts. Instead of clarifying the issue, controversy sometimes clouds it, leaving people confused or misled. A single piece of false information, when magnified in a heated debate, can cause long-lasting damage to reputations, communities, or even nations. Controversy also has the potential to incite emotional rather than rational responses. While a healthy debate is based on reason and logic, many controversies trigger anger, hatred, or fear. When emotions take over, people may resort to personal attacks, insults, or even violence. History has shown that unchecked controversies have sparked riots, wars, and deep cultural divisions. Furthermore, controversy can become a distraction from real issues. Instead of focusing on solutions, individuals or groups may become obsessed with winning arguments, proving others wrong, or gaining attention. This often leads to wasted time and energy, preventing constructive progress. For instance, in politics, controversies are sometimes manufactured to divert attention from more pressing problems like poverty, healthcare, or education. On a personal level, controversy can also create stress, hostility, and broken relationships. Friends, families, and communities often split apart over controversial issues, unable to bridge their differences. What could have been an opportunity for dialogue and mutual understanding may instead become a lasting source of bitterness and division. Thus, while controversy has the power to ignite progress, it also carries the risk of destruction. Its negative aspects remind us that controversy is a double-edged sword, one that must be handled with care, wisdom, and responsibility. In the midst of controversy, one element stands out as the key to transforming conflict into understanding: dialogue. Dialogue is not simply about speaking, it is about listening, respecting, and engaging in meaningful exchange. It is the bridge that allows opposing sides to move beyond hostility and toward mutual understanding. Without dialogue, controversy becomes a battlefield. With dialogue, it becomes an opportunity for learning and growth. The role of dialogue in controversy is first and foremost about creating a space for respect. When individuals or groups engage in dialogue, they acknowledge the dignity of the other side, even if they disagree. This respect sets the foundation for constructive conversation, where arguments are based on ideas rather than personal attacks. It turns a heated clash into a thoughtful exchange. Another important role of dialogue is that it clarifies misunderstandings. Many controversies spiral out of control because of false assumptions, incomplete information, or stereotypes. Through open dialogue, people are able to explain their perspectives clearly, ask questions, and challenge misconceptions. In this way, dialogue removes the fog of confusion and allows truth to surface. Dialogue also plays a critical role in finding common ground. While people may not agree on every detail, dialogue often reveals shared values or goals that both sides can work toward. For example, environmental controversies may divide people over policies, but dialogue can highlight the common desire for a cleaner and safer planet. This recognition of shared humanity can transform division into collaboration. Furthermore, dialogue teaches the essential skill of active listening. Too often during controversies, people focus only on responding or defending their stance without truly hearing the other side. Dialogue requires patience, the willingness to hear fully before reacting. When both sides practice active listening, empathy begins to grow and even deep disagreements become more manageable. On a larger scale, dialogue strengthens democratic societies. Public debates, community forums, and open discussions are forms of dialogue that ensure every voice has the chance to be heard. Without dialogue, democracy collapses into silence or chaos. With dialogue, diverse opinions can coexist, and decisions can be made that reflect the collective good. Even at the personal level, dialogue is crucial in maintaining relationships during controversy. Families, friends, and colleagues will inevitably face disagreements. But if they commit to respectful dialogue, asking questions, listening carefully, and speaking with empathy, they can preserve their bonds while still holding different views. Thus, dialogue is not just a tool. It is the heart of resolving controversies. It transforms conflict into communication, opposition into cooperation, and division into understanding. While controversy often unfolds on a large scale, in politics, religion, science, or culture, the responsibility of managing it does not rest solely on leaders, governments, or institutions. Each individual carries a crucial role in determining whether controversy becomes destructive or constructive. Our attitudes, choices, and actions collectively shape the outcome of every debate. The first responsibility of individuals is to approach controversy with an open mind. Too often, people enter debates with their minds already closed, unwilling to even consider the other side. This rigid mindset fuels hostility rather than resolution. An open mind does not mean blindly accepting every viewpoint, but it does mean being willing to listen, analyze, and reflect before making judgments. Another responsibility is to seek knowledge and truth. In the age of information, where rumors spread faster than facts, individuals must take it upon themselves to verify claims, question sources, and distinguish between evidence and opinion. A well-informed person contributes to a meaningful discussion, while ignorance only intensifies confusion and division. Individuals also have the duty to express their opinions respectfully. Freedom of speech is a powerful right, but it comes with the responsibility of using it wisely. Harsh words, insults, or aggressive behavior only inflame controversy, while calm and respectful communication keeps dialogue alive. Even when disagreements are strong, maintaining dignity in expression ensures that debates do not collapse into hostility. A vital responsibility is the practice of empathy and tolerance. Controversy often arises from deeply held beliefs, and behind every belief is a human story. By trying to understand the emotions, values, and experiences that shape another person's perspective, individuals can soften conflict and create room for mutual respect. Tolerance does not mean full agreement, but it does mean allowing others the right to think differently without treating them as enemies. Furthermore, individuals must take care to avoid fueling unnecessary conflict. Not every disagreement needs to become a heated controversy. Sometimes silence, patience, or compromise can prevent small issues from turning into great divisions. Choosing wisely when to engage and when to step back is part of individual responsibility in handling controversy. On a broader level, individuals also bear the responsibility of being role models. Whether in schools, workplaces, families, or communities, each person has the power to influence others. By engaging in respectful discussions, fact-based reasoning, and empathetic listening, individuals set an example for those around them, showing that controversy can be handled with wisdom instead of aggression. Ultimately, the way individuals act during controversy shapes the outcome of society as a whole. Each person's responsibility is like a piece of a puzzle. When combined, they determine whether a controversy leads to chaos and division or to understanding and progress. When we reflect on the nature of controversy, it becomes clear that it is far more than mere disagreement or conflict. Controversy is a mirror of human society. It shows us where our values differ, where our beliefs clash, and where change is most needed. It is uncomfortable, often noisy, and sometimes even painful, but it is also a sign that people care deeply about the issues at hand. Silence may indicate indifference, but controversy demonstrates passion, involvement, and the desire for something better. The conclusion we can draw is that controversy is neither wholly good nor wholly bad. Rather, it is a powerful force that depends on how it is handled. On one side, it has fueled revolutions, inspired reforms, and opened doors to new knowledge. On the other side, it has divided communities, spread hatred, and delayed progress. Its double double-edged nature requires wisdom, patience, and responsibility from everyone involved, controversy reminds us that progress is born from challenge. Without disagreement, societies would remain stagnant, ideas would never be tested, and traditions would never evolve. Every debate, whether about freedom, equality, science, or culture, pushes humanity to re-examine its path and to choose between holding on to the past or embracing the future. In this sense, controversy is not an obstacle but a pathway to growth. At the same time, controversy also teaches us the importance of balance. While we should never shy away from addressing difficult questions, we must also ensure that our methods of dealing with controversy are constructive. Anger, hostility, and misinformation weaken its value, but dialogue, empathy, and critical thinking transform it into a tool for progress. Thus, controversy is not something to fear or to avoid, but something to understand. It challenges us to rise above division, to think deeply, and to strive for solutions that respect diversity while pursuing truth. It is in controversy that societies test their strength, individuals refine their wisdom, and humanity as a whole takes steps toward a more enlightened future. Ladies and gentlemen, controversy will always be a part of human life. It will challenge us, unsettle us, and sometimes even divide us, but it also holds the power to guide us toward truth, justice, and progress. The way we respond to controversy determines whether it becomes a destructive fire or a guiding light. If we choose dialogue over silence, respect over hostility, and wisdom over ignorance, then controversy will not weaken us. It will make us stronger, wiser, and more united. Thank you.